Hello, everybody, it's that college football guy. Here another video. Well, yeah, I'm here at the house, still doing stuff, getting stuff prepped for road trip and everything else. I'm leaving hella early. Like, leaving the house here 3, 4 in the morning to get ready for this run I gotta do. But, this is what I promised today. First off, I'm not going to say anything about any of the games that happened today. That's going to be the video for tomorrow. It's probably going to be happening mid-afternoon or so. We'll see how it goes, because I got a lot of driving to do. But, here's what's going on about. I was talking about conference realignment. The news about multiple sources. It's too many people looking at the sources on this one. Basically, the same thing is the fact that, as we've heard from multiple people, Stanford, Cal, and SMU coming into the ACC. Stanford and Cal coming in at half shares. ESPN willing to pay the freight for them. SMU taking no money for now, instead of 5 years, 7 years. And then a reevaluation process will take, like, then Florida State holding up the deal because they want the lion's share of the money. Y'all just grow up. Does this stop Florida State from having temper tantrums? Absolutely not. If this was Clemson asking for the money, I wouldn't even question it, because they've been the ACC. But this, I don't get it. Now, Oregon State, Washington State. Actually, you know what? Let me get another option here. Then came out the story that got leaked out by multiple sources as well, that the ESPN reached out to Brett Yormark and the Big 12 about if they could consider adding Stanford and Cal to the TV deal, and they'll increase the money to accommodate them. Which I can tell you right now, BY does not want to add them. BY wants to add, if he could have his way, he'd be adding Miami, Louisville, Pitt, and Virginia from the ACC, because he already knows the big boys are going to be gone by the time he gets there. Miami might even be gone too. Who knows? But that's what he wants to do, to add to the Big 12 to help out. He already knows that. He wants to add to the Eastern flank. He doesn't want to add any more on the West. He's already got 5. He needs to help out the Eastern schools. So, that being said, is he going to entertain the offer? Of course he is. He's in very, very good relationship with ESPN. Of course he's going to say, okay, fine, not a problem. We'll talk about it. Memberships would say, I just couldn't convince him. They're not going to the Big 12. I don't believe that. I don't think anybody I'm talking to in this video believes that. I think it's going to be the ACC, or Stanford goes independent, and Cal and the rest of them go. But I've been talking about the ACC deal. This might actually happen. I mean, if Stanford and Cal go with SMU, 17 teams into the ACC now, because they had 14, add 3 makes 17. Pac-12 is definitely dead. There's no chance of bringing it back together. Not at all. I mean, you'd have to, if they want to re-establish the Pac-12, they'd have to raid the AAC, the Sun Belt, and everybody else, because that's the only way they're going to get any money, and they're not. I don't think they're going to do that either. So, for Stanford and Cal, they better hope they get in there. And some of you were going like, 17 teams, how does that work? Well, there's actually a scheduling model for 17 teams. Because a 17-team football conference is you and 16 opponents. Take 2 guaranteed opponents a year. That cuts the 16 to 14. 7 one year, 7 the other. 9-game conference schedule. You play everybody every 2 years. Everybody comes to your stadium every 4. So football-wise, it does work. As for the Olympic sports and everything else in basketball, that's another story. And Stanford and Cal, if they came to the ACC, they would be for football, men's and women's basketball only. And everything else will be going either to, most likely, either the West Coast Conference, or actually probably maybe the Big West, maybe more likely, without basketball. So that's a potential situation there, so they stay out west. As for Oregon State and Washington State, there's a very interesting little statement made from Oregon State and Washington State, both about things they're talking about education and proximity and how that is important for the future of our student athletes. And I'm like, education and proximity. Education would say maybe the AAC the American, because they've got more schools. But, and they have more money. Proximity is definitely the Mountain West. Then there came down the deal about the TV deals. I actually tweeted this out in response to somebody's comment. Or should say X'd it out now. Whatever. Anyway, basically, what's got rumored reported out now is that the Fox and CBS being the primary partner, would, if Oregon State and Washington State agree to go join the conference, they would increase the money from $8 to possibly $10 million a year, but they want a 1-year extension on the grant of rights. So instead of ending June 30th, 2026, it'll end June 30th, 2027. 4 years remaining. The rumor going on with ESPN is that if Oregon State and Washington State join the AAC, they will increase the payout from anywhere from 12 to 14 million. That's a jump. But they also want an extension on the grant of rights for rumoredly 3 years, which means the deal wouldn't expire in June 30th, 2031, but June 30th, 2034. So if you're Oregon State or Washington State, you can make an extra $8 million a year and be stuck in the AAC for over a decade, because technically it'd be 11 years. Or you can hang out 4 years in the Mountain West, and if the ACC implodes, you don't have to pay for a buyout. If the Big 12 calls, you're available. If the Mountain West renegotiates the deal and you get more money and you can politic for more money, there's that option. Wouldn't the Mountain West give you a lot more flexibility? You lose money short term. But if it means you get out of having to pay a buyout, which you wouldn't be able to afford to do anyway out of the AAC, give me 2.5 years notice, because the Big 12, they called you, they want you next year, so you're going to pay, what, 30 something, what is it, $25, $30 million, whatever the buyout is? Pay $30 million making $10 million a year when you're already in the hole? Does that make any sense to anybody? So basically, nothing's going to happen until Stanford and Cal find a home. My gut tells me Stanford and Cal are going to go with SMU to the ACC. I think that, will they add an 18th team? Right now, I don't think so, because nobody draws any money. They're just going to deal with 17 for right now, to placate everybody. There's nobody else who brings any money in. They'll do that. And then you also have, that means that I think that Oregon State and Washington State will probably end up in the Mountain West. More flexibility for options to do that one. And I think the AAC, because they're going to lose SMU, which drops them down to 13 teams, is probably going to grab, I think, FIU in Miami for the partnership. They still may go after Louisiana Tech or Middle Tennessee State. I don't know which one they're going to go right there. Depends on which market they're wanting. And you want another school in Miami? Do you want a school that's a winning program? That's Louisiana Tech. You want a school that's got has been a perennially winning program that's not that far from Nashville? If you take Middle Tennessee, is Western Kentucky going to go hand in hand? Because they were both going to go to the MAC. Remember that deal? Because they was too far travel, they refused to go. I think Middle Tennessee won't go. They want to stay south. I think Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky, if they had their druthers, they'd be going back in the Sun Belt. But since they're making more money in Conference USA than they would have made in the Sun Belt, I think they're going to stay right where they are. So I think realistically, probably, I think Middle Tennessee State, Western Kentucky will be out of the build to go to the ACC. I think it's going to be FIU or Louisiana Tech from Conference USA, unless they want to get crazy. My damn jargon off. Unless they want to get crazy and go after UTEP for El Paso, to get West Texas. Maybe. I don't know. I always thought UTEP and Mexico State, they're still trying to try to get in the Mountain West somehow, which is still a possibility. But anyway, tell me what you think about everything down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. Like I said, I'll reply on all the Week 0 games, which were some interesting ones. The Week 0 games tomorrow. And so I said, if you haven't done it already, please smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. Tell me what you think of all this realignment conference craziness, because that's what this is, and that's what I'm going to title this damn thing. And you think that there's any chance that the ACC deal is going to go through? Where do you think Oregon State and Washington State going to end up? And if SMU does leave, who's the best candidate you think is going to be going to the American, or that way they get back to 14 teams? Are they going to try to politic Connecticut coming back in? I seriously doubt it. And if you haven't done it already, please subscribe to the channel. On the way to 500 subscribers, slowly but surely on the way to 1,000, we can start making some things happen. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. I got to get back cooking. I got laundry going at me and everything else. So thanks everybody for watching the video. Have a great day, and please be good to each other.